Hey guys, it's Neil and welcome back to High Gain Guitar Academy. Today we're going to talk about other kinds of chords. Didn't really know what else to call this segment other than other kinds of chords because we've learned major and minor. Those are kind of the fundamental building blocks of playing music. Major sounding happy, minor sounding sad. So today we're going to focus a little bit on other kinds of chords. I think it's important to explore other voicings and moods of chords because the basic chords, major and minor, happy, sad, they do a lot, but they don't do everything. Not everything is happy and sad. We're more complex than that. So sometimes you have to find chords that say just the right thing. I might be able to play a minor chord. Here's an A minor, and that does what I need it to do. But what if I did something a little bit different and I change one note? This is going to be an A minor 7. That's a different kind of mood. It's not sad like the A minor. I don't know exactly how to explain it. It may sound totally different to you, and that's the beauty of it, is the perception. Anybody can take what they want from it. And I'm just going to offer you some options to do that with. Let's talk about some of the most common ones I use. I'm not going to go over every kind of chord. My job here today is just to give you some guidance and creativity. Let's talk about seventh chords. Let's say I wanted to do a seventh chord in the key of A. We're just going to use A as an example right now, okay? So major sounds happy. Here's an A major. Minor sounds kind of sad. Seventh chords sound, they kind of sound silly or sassy, or like they have a little attitude, you know, like there's a certain fun quality to a seventh chord, right? So yeah, major chords are happy. Seventh chords are still happy, but it's just got a little bit of swagger to it. So that's just an example of a seventh chord. So work those into your repertoire. You know, take the time, go look up a chart of seventh chords, add those in. They're super useful. The next mood or shapes we're going to talk about is still in the seventh chord family. So seventh chords are interesting because there's 7 chords, then there's major 7 and minor 7. So you kind of have 3 groups. So basic seventh chord has that bluesy, silly, fun kind of sound. Major 7 chords, however, and these are some of my favorite. A major 7, this is an A major 7. That's really nice, isn't it? It's very like beachy and relaxed to me. You know, it just sounds like a very mellow, very laid back sound. That's kind of the vibe for a major 7. So pretty different than a regular seventh chord. So there's the silly fun, then there's very laid back and relaxed. And that kind of leads us to the last one in this group. These are minor 7s. Now I used an example of a minor 7 earlier. A regular minor chord, again, sounds kind of sad. But a minor 7, there's like an underlying thoughtfulness to it. Maybe it's like a slightly serious yet hopeful sound. It's really up to you to determine what that mood is, but it's definitely a mood. It's definitely a different vibe from a minor. Again, here's the A minor, minor 7. Let's try it with a different chord just to give you some more context. Here's a D minor, minor 7. It's different, very different. B minor, minor 7. It's subtle, but it's there. It makes you feel a really different way than a regular minor. Those are 3 examples of chord groups that I feel are really, really useful to most kinds of music. Seventh chords, major 7, and minor 7. Now, of course, like I said, there's so many other kinds of chords. These are just a group that I find to be very common, very useful, very musical, and that I personally use a lot. Now that we know our happy, sad major minors, now you've got a whole new group of chords to learn. At this point, I'm sure you have access to be able to pull some things up online, find a chord chart for these groups of chords and learn them, memorize them, start working them into your regular playing, and you're gonna start noticing these in a lot of songs you listen to. Once you start learning chords, it's funny how they start popping up in your everyday listening. Like, oh, I know what that is now. I never knew that's what that mood was called or how that was accomplished. So now you do. There's another kind of chord shape that's called a sus chord. You may look up some chord charts and find these ones that say sus, S-U-S. Suspended is what that means. And basically all that is, at least in my head, is a chord that sounds like it's just hanging out before it lands. So let's say I'm playing an E major. Nice happy E chord. If I add in the 2 of the G with my pinky here, this is going to be an E sus before it lands. Right? Suspended chords, to me, they're just like hanging out before they land in their final position. You can apply it to minor chords too. Here's a D minor. Let's say I did a D sus minor. D minor sus, I guess you would say. Hopefully this has been good advice for you. Let's not get too wrapped up in the rules. You know, don't forget to have fun with it and at the end of the day, feel something. All right, there you go, guys. Hope this was helpful. Take it, love it, learn it, enjoy it. We'll see you next time.